Hi, and welcome to the second video in the Anyone Can Program series. In this session, I'm going to talk about statements, but not the type of statement that Floyd is trying to make. Statements that you can type into a computer. A statement can be a single line of code like this, or a block of code like this. Statements are written using the grammar and punctuation of a programming language. This is called syntax. Believe it or not, the syntax between different programming languages looks very much the same. Here is the code in C to print Hello World on the screen. Here is the code to do the same in processing. And again for Java. They look very similar, don't they? You may have noticed that each line of code ends with a semicolon. This is one way to tell the computer that you finished a command. Most statements end in a semicolon. Another similarity that you'll see among these lines of code is the structure. They begin with a word followed by a bracket, some more words inside double quotes, a closing bracket, and a semicolon. Watch out for this structure being repeated as you learn more about programming in this video series. Programming is easier to learn than another spoken language as it has a very restricted vocabulary. The C programming language only has around 108 words, whereas the second Oxford English Dictionary lists 171,000 words with 615,000 definitions, and the Dictionary of the Dutch language lists 430,000 words. The 6 types of statements in programming include labeled, compound, expressions, selection, iteration, and jump. A labeled statement is one that is preceded by a colon and a simple identifier. The label is used to mark the code such that you can refer to it later. Labeling is not often used and you may never encounter it other than here. This line of code, which prints hello, has been labelled say hello. Notice how the label appears before the statement in front of a colon. A compound statement consists of multiple lines of code that appear in closed braces. I like to call these braces squiggly brackets. Many coding conventions require lines of code to be run together as a unit, and to identify them, we place them inside these squiggly brackets. By its very nature, the body of a function is a compound statement. Here is an example of a compound statement used inside a function. We will learn more about functions in later tutorials. An expression statement is a single line of code followed by a semicolon. We've already seen a number of examples of expressions. Print Hello World is an expression. A selection statement is used to control the flow of the code. Based on the evaluation of an expression, a selection may or may not run a certain line of code. In this example, the if statement is used to determine if the print statement will run. In this case, the value of number is equal to 3. Because number is not greater than 4, the condition required by the if statement, the print line function will not run. If, however, number was set to 5, the print statement would run. An iteration statement creates a loop around a block of code, allowing you to run the same lines over and over again. The while statement shown here will continue to run the lines inside the squiggly brackets over and over until the value of number no longer is less than 5. Each time it loops, the value of number is increased by 1. When number equals 5, the loop will quit. The last of the 6 statement types is the jump statement. Jump statements are another way to control the flow of a program. They can be used to break loops or jump to another part of the code. For example, a go-to statement can be used to jump to a labeled statement. This code will jump to the location in the program where the line labeled with "say hello," as we showed before, exists. In the next video, we'll study variables. But if you're interested in trying out some statements, check out the practical videos in this series.